Good afternoon, welcome along. We've got live championship football with a tale of two cities, Birmingham hosting Swansea. Well, Swansea could have floated the 130 miles to St Andrews after Wednesday night's sensational Carabao Cup tie. They were 2-0 down against Premier League opposition in the 68th minute of the game. Their equaliser and their winner came after the 90th minute. Plenty of changes. Some of the heroes on Wednesday night survive in the team, such as the 2-goal Cameron Burgess, who doesn't get many goals but certainly on target dramatically in the 97th minute of that game. And some of the regulars are back from their league campaigns. By contrast, Birmingham were the runaway winners of League One last season. After a promising start this season, things have got tough. They've lost 3 in a row. Last season they only lost 3 games in 46 league games. They've been 16 unbeaten in league football until this little run with a defeat away to Leicester City. They are happy to be back, it is safe to say. Well, Chris Davis has done a fabulous job. A man with Swansea City connections. Retired when he was 19 years of age, highly rated in the game, and he joined the ambitious project at Birmingham City. First season could hardly have gone better. But up in the Championship, they knew that there were tough times coming. Well, St Andrews will be Birmingham's home for a little while yet, but the plans for the future are grand, with a 62,000-seater stadium not far away from here. Their record in the league here has been superb, unbeaten in 27 since the April of their relegation season. And the Chris Davis, they've only lost in cups against Fulham, Newcastle, and more recently against Port Vale, but they've lost 3 games in a row. Only lost 3 games in the whole of the promotion campaign. Last season there'd been 16 league games unbeaten. But, unsurprisingly, Courtney Sweetman-Kirk, it's tougher at this level.
Yeah, it is, and look, they've got a fantastic squad. I think forward planning was something that they wanted to do last season. So I feel that the players that they've got, the players they've added, are certainly good enough to play at this level, but you say that the step up in the Championship is very different, and that's why we love watching. So I feel that the players that they've got, the players they've added, are certainly good enough to play at this level, but you say that the step up in the Championship is very different, and that's why we love watching the Championship, because it's so unpredictable and there is no easy game. For me, I think it's not quite clicked going forward yet, sort of the forward line and the attacking midfielders where they were so prolific last season. They're still struggling to find a little bit of rhythm, but I do think that will come with Birmingham City.
They were openly optimistic. People around the game were talking about whether they could go straight through. I suppose we saw Ipswich do it a couple of seasons ago. There's money behind them, but then again, Championship rules means that you can't just throw money around.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why I think, as I mentioned, they were quite clever last season, because in terms of those stipulations are a little bit different in League One and compared to the Championship. So yes, they've spent money to a degree, but not as much as they probably could afford or they would like. And even so, even when you throw money at things, it's about making sure that the team is in the right place, that everyone's functioning, that the philosophy is still there, which under Chris Davies I think it will be. And I think he's done a fantastic job with this squad, with a lot of expectation surrounding himself, the players, the club. But it was never going to be an easy ask to do that double promotion. But it's early stages. They still have the ability to turn their fortunes around, and whether it be automatic, whether it be playoffs, to get themselves in and around in the right area at the end of the season.
Well, Swansea made a promising start in the league after losing a tight game at Middlesbrough on the opening day. They've been unbeaten. It's their only 3rd away game. They won at Sheffield Wednesday. They did drop points at home against both Watford and Hull. But of course we should talk about the sensational events of Wednesday night in Swansea City. They were going out of the Cup and they were easing their way out of the Cup. They'd made changes. Everyone seemed fairly happy that Forest were winning that game. They got one back in the 68th minute, and then stoppage time was just sensational.
Yeah, brilliant, and that's why we love those cup competitions, because the underdogs can come out in circumstances, but say to be 2-0 down and still come back into it, and those late goals, it's a wonderful occasion now for Swansea. There's a confidence that you will gain from that, but also there's a lot of emotional and obviously physical pressures that go into that, so it's about how quickly can you turn it around to be able to perform to the top level today at St Andrews.
Yeah, well, we'll see the team news shortly, but he's made a lot of changes, and it was something that Alan Sheehan was obviously conscious of, probably with his team selection on Wednesday night. So the sort of second string, or the 1.5 string, as it were, outperform themselves against Forest.
And exactly, and then you're in a position where, as a player, if you perform that well, then you want to be starting. Yes, there's a quick turnaround and there's the physical aspects to think about, but you want to earn your place in the side. And obviously when you're on the right side of a performance, obviously at the back end of the game, and a result like that, then you want to be starting again on the weekend.
Just about see the players see the smoke that's welcomed them out onto the pitch. Swansea are in the white and the Blues are in the blue. Of course, Birmingham City. Swansea haven't got a good record here. They haven't won here since July 2020, and there have been 8 meetings between the teams since Swansea last won one. Birmingham make 4 changes from last weekend's game. The German international forward Marvin Dusch makes his first start in the Championship. Jack Robinson makes his Blues debut, his 350th senior appearance, dating back 16 seasons. Lewis Kumas is on loan from Liverpool, makes his second start. And Brighter side Samuel returns at right back. Ethan Laird, Phil Neumann, Tommy Doyle and Patrick Roberts are out, and Kyogo remains among the subs. Wednesday's Carabao Cup heroics haven't changed Alan Sheehan's mind about who are his first choice players. The starting 11 switches back to the whole game, with one exception. Marko Stamenic has overcome his groin injury and starts in place of Malik Yalkue. Josh Key, Gonzalo Franco, Ethan Galbraith, and the 2-goal hero Cameron Burgess are the 4 who started against Forest and do so here. Jan Vipotnik came from the bench on Wednesday, still managed to extend his goal-scoring sequence to 5 in 5 games. Courtney, you picked out a couple of players for us.
Yeah, first of all, we've gone for Iwata. I think he's a fantastic midfielder, was well above the level of League One last season. And for me, he's the metronome. He keeps everything going, and also got great ability on the ball. So when he strikes a ball goal, would you know about it? So he's got 2 sides to his game. Of course, I've gone for Potnik as well. Scored in that game against Forest, but had a really good start to the season. You see there, he's a big player, stature, strength. Obviously, the most important thing as a number 9 is knows where the back of the net is. And another player that knows where the back of the net is Jay Stansfield. Quite got motor in the way he would like this season. Got so much ability, so much promise, still a young player. He's got that electric pace that's going to really trouble that Swansea back line if he can get going today. Speaking of the back line, as if by magic, Cam Burgess off the back of those 2 goals. You normally think about him obviously in that sense, half the defensive sense, but showing his quality against Forest a few days ago, but he's going to have his hands full today.
Match referee is John Busby. No VAR, that wasn't VAR in the Carabao Cup for Swansea the other night. So we are back in the Championship. The supporters at St Andrews at Knighthead Park in fine voice. And Swansea get the ball up the pitch. There are certain things that have come back into fashion, such as the big pass up the pitch, and very much such as the long throw. We'll see those in action, even though there are 2 teams that like to have possession of the ball, to the highest possession count teams in the Championship. What Birmingham have perhaps been lacking, or definitely been lacking, is shots at goal.
Yeah, and when you think the players that they've got. I mentioned Iwata from midfield, Jay Stansfield, you've got Dykes on the bench, Patrick Roberts. So for Ahashi, you've got a lot of quality in those forward areas, but for whatever reason at the moment, it's really struggling to click in front of goal for Blues. Can't quite find, I don't think, the right combinations.
They do win the ball back. It's swept up and they go back to Ryan Alsop, hugely experienced goalkeeper, his 15th club. Now, it's the life of a goalkeeper sometimes, isn't it, that you might move from club to club. It's a heavy touch there that almost invited the challenge of Galbraith, but he manages to ping a terrific ball out. Swansea win it back through Josh Key, one of the players who played in the game in midweek and keeps his place for this game. Bougarou comes back into the Swansea team, who's had a good start to the season, the Chile international goalkeeper. So Damari Gray is still over on the right side, with Kumas coming into the team. And there's Jack Robinson, a massively experienced player, signed late in the window from Sheffield United.
It's an interesting one at the moment, isn't it, for Sheffield United? Obviously, a new old manager in a sense, Chris Wilder coming back to take the helm, and Jack Robinson was a massive part, along with Chris Basham, under Wilder, in terms of those three centre-halves flying forward when they used to play that formation. As you say, he's got bags of experience, Jack Robinson, at this level and above.
The first casualty of the championship season. There will be more to come. I think we went through over 20 in the last couple of campaigns actually. So, and obviously, I think there was something like 11 changes in the summer, but it was an unsurprising change given the way they started.
Yeah, poor start and a bit of a change in the way that things were being done, more data-driven, but sort of, if we're seeing in the game, reverting back to old ways and longer balls and long throws. Same with Sheffield United, reverting back to a very safe pair of hands.
A frantic start to the game. Ango wins a header. And then an opportunity to steal the ball. It was Marvin Deutsch, and again, it's just so untidy. It's a lovely bit of skill. Neither side has been able to string about 3 passes together.
No, surprising really from Birmingham in terms of the way that they win it in a fantastic position. I think the ball across into the centre of the field isn't good enough, and they're just the little bits of fine margins, weight of pass, angle of pass you want it in front of your player, in front of your teammate to step onto. Yes, it's early in the game, but it's been very untidy from both sides.
Shai Samuel tries to wriggle forward, but it was really strong play by Zidane Enusa, the Swede who Swansea signed in the summer. Also dribbles it straight through to his opposite number.
Normally we're looking at teams going, why are you playing out from the back like that? Why are you putting yourself in a position much like that, actually, where you're putting yourself under undue pressure? But we've seen the other side of it as well, where Alsop long ball forward, no one getting on the end of it, no one along the wavelength, and going goalkeeper to goalkeeper.
Good pressure on though, and then Deutsch, who they sort of think will play as a number 10. We'll see though, he might just be 2 proper forwards.
Yeah, he's got high so far, hasn't he? And especially because Stansfield as well, he's played in a range of positions. He's played in the 9, he's played a little bit wider as well, so they can have that interchange where they can be quite dynamic, and it can always be difficult for defenders to pick up.
So it's Damari Gray. Drilled it into the penalty area. Stansfield, who was trying to get on the end of that, but whoever the defender was, they were alert to the danger.
Yeah, it's obviously something that Birmingham City have worked on, trying to outfox that Swansea defence.
And Ronaldo's had a good start to the season. Got his first touch of the ball in this game. This is Stamenic, who's been out with a groin problem. His hand is heavily strapped, but I don't think that was the issue keeping him out. New Zealand international, who is very much well travelled. Will play in that deep midfield area. And get on the ball again. And clip it over the top for Ronaldo to chase. But I don't think he'll win the race. He's done really well, actually. He has won the race and he's kept it in play. Swansea emerge with possession. Stamenic again, who started all of that, and now Burgess scored those 2 goals. And Inusa plays from that left side. He goes down expecting a free kick. Busby decided to let it play on. Stansfield now on the break. Bango puts him under pressure. Kumas turns and rides one challenge. The untidiness goes on.
I think you see there, not just Stansfield, but in general, I think that physical aspect, that step up in physicality to the Championship is maybe something that at times Birmingham City have struggled with.
Swansea are very busy in the summer, a total of 11 signings and 4 loans as well. There's a lot of pressure there. Super stuff. And it's Deutsch in the penalty area who can clip it up to the back post. And Tomoki Iwata who won the ball. And Kumas into the penalty area. And I think it sort of hit Pake really rather than being... I think he was probably aiming for somebody else.
I think in an ideal world, that's the sort of cross that you want to try and whip across the 6-yard box or in that corridor of uncertainty. But to be fair, he didn't have the runners to do that, so he just tries to stick it up at that back post area.
Beautifully taken out of the air by Asai Samuel, and he weaves his way to the byline. And Gray can deliver. Damari Gray into the penalty area, well screened at the near post. And Iwata's touch takes them back, and the home supporters just grumble.
Yeah, you can hear it because they're seeing that first bit of pressure from Birmingham City, and no need to potentially go backwards there for me for Iwata. Not with his quality as well, he can take that down.
The ball is whipped into the penalty area. Gray was the target. Vigaroo was on his toes.
That's exactly what you want, isn't it, from your goalkeeper? Doesn't get stuck on their line, wants to come out, command the area. It's better from Birmingham City, just needs a little bit more whip on the ball. I like that positioning from Damari Gray, making sure he's locking off that back side of the box and then can drive in to try and get on the end of it.
Sai Samuel, who's a Nigerian international. In the early part of his career, he was a winger, wasn't he? And sort of reinvented as a right back.
Yeah, and I think as what the modern day right back, left back is changed, I think that saw a lot of obviously players and wingers change position, go a little bit further back, but actually you're still getting obviously that attacking talent and intent, because that's what we need from a modern day fullback now.
Headed on by Key, looking for Ronaldo in the midfield. Vipotnik hasn't had a big say in the game so far. He's had a big say in the season so far. Inusa to Galbraith. And Kabanga, who was rested for midweek, probably regrets that. Missing out on all the fun. And Stamenic.
It's a shame he doesn't sort his feet out quicker there, because takes up a really good position. But I think if he takes that on the back foot, he can drive forward, but just gets caught in 2 minds.
Oh, well taken by time, and he turned, found himself some space. Now he can go wide. Ronaldo can whip it into the penalty area. And it was Vipotnik who got there, and he put it over the top.
You can see he's disappointed. And he should be. Now does ever so well. Both of those two. 3 goals each this season in the league, but for Vipotnik certainly should have been 4. yes, it bounces just before it gets to him, but still, when you're full of confidence, it's just about getting the right connection there. And I think one of those, it looks harder to miss than it does to score.
He scored from the bench the other night. At the time, it looked like it was going to set up a penalty shootout. I suppose he does give a free kick this time against Zidane Nusa.
It's been good, hasn't it? Great start. Vopotnik mentioned the 3 goals in the league. He's got the 2 in the cup, 1 against Forest that you mentioned, and 1 against Plymouth as well. And that's what you want as a striker when you're having a good start to the season, scoring goals early on. It always helps you push on.
Picked up in the midfield by Tomoki Iwata. And now Asai Samuel, and again the home supporters are keen for Birmingham to be on the front foot and go forwards. So Iwata then somewhat carelessly gives the ball away, and Nusa, well, it was a hit and run, and the yellow card is coming out for the Birmingham captain, Christoph Clara.
There's no doubt about that one. Got no attempt, is there, from Clara to win the ball. He's just trying it. He's a Nusa out the way. That's probably me being kind. It's more of a body check, and he's probably lucky that the elbow doesn't connect with anywhere near the face either, because that yellow could have easily been a red if that was the case.
Yeah, in his mind he might have been trying to ease him out of the way.
You've seen it though, haven't you, sometimes with a change in stature. Clara's obviously very tall, and sometimes not intentionally, but you can make a connection with the elbow to the face, and that then only leaves the referee with one choice.
So it's Galbraith, free kick for Swansea City. And a high defensive line, and a drilled free kick, and the goalkeeper got there. Cabango wasn't far from it.
No, he wasn't. I mean, not from angle anyway. Very close.
A huge clearance downfield. I tell you one thing, Colin, I think the new law about actually enforcing the goalkeepers not hanging on to it too long, it's actually speeded them up, and positively.
Yeah, it has, and that's the idea, isn't it, in terms of we've got so much of the game of these 90 minutes, and you see the statistics about actually the ball not spending that long in play and the time wasting. So, yeah, I mean, PGMOL obviously a lot of times come under some flack, but between them and obviously the lawmakers at IFAB, I think it's been a fantastic idea.
Well, they've done well. Stansfield has just robbed the ball away from Samanic, but Swansea on a second line of defence. Cabango to Galbraith. Comfortable under pressure, the Northern Ireland international. And then Ronaldo, more central position. He can't slot the ball through to Key. And Stansfield again happy to run at defenders. Excellent work by Big Ben Cabango.
He does well, doesn't he? Just uses his body excellently to make it really difficult for Stansfield.
Inusa. Simon went on the overlap. Gonzalo Franco trying to link things up. He finds Stamanic, his fellow number 6, if you want the modern terminology. And that was just careless. It's Stansfield again, and he's in some space here for Birmingham City. And Kumas is wide and beats his defender easily. And Kumas delivers into the penalty area. Gray just flicked it on. And Tomoki Iwata is urged to shoot, and then Stansfield does pull the trigger, and the home supporters, I think they're cheering the fact that they took a shot.
Yeah, and no wonder they're asking Iwata to shoot, because, as I mentioned, he's got a wonderful technique on the ball when he hits it. But he feels better served to obviously try and find a teammate. But it's difficult, this one, because actually look at how many Swansea bodies are in that box, how many defenders are there, and it was the same when the cross came in. They're making it extremely difficult for Birmingham City. So even when they get free, for example, down that left-hand side, and Kumas does ever so well, there's still so much to do because of the amount of bodies that then Swansea getting back into a defensive shape.
Throwing decision goes against the home team. And Marvin Deutsch. Well, Chris Davis has his Swansea connections. He first went to Swansea at the age of 25. He was an analyst, got promoted through the ranks with Brendan Rodgers, left with him, so he was involved in their promotion to the Premier League. An offside against perhaps Damari Gray. And Alan Sheehan, since he took over at Swansea City initially as a caretaker manager, only Middlesbrough have got more points in the Championship than the Swans. Slightly misleading, of course, because 3 teams have been promoted. Again, Galbraith dealt with it well, but then there's a careless pass by Burgess, and Galbraith tries to win possession back. The referee blows his whistle, and I think it's nothing more than a free kick.
Yeah, it's one of those where I think actually Galbraith seems to get a bit of the ball, but in the modern day there's certain ways that now you have to make challenges, and the problem there is he goes completely through the side of Damari Gray. So despite maybe getting a little bit on the ball, when you take the player out first, the referee's always going to give that as a foul.
I guess, is that Ryan Alsop who's got that yellow card? We'll have to confirm that. It's a long-range yellow card that he's managed to collect. Sai Samuel forced back to Clara. And Robinson, who can play as a left-back and left of a 3, as an orthodox centre-back in a 4 today. Here's Kumas, lovely control by the Liverpool loanee, and he goes down. It was over a trailing body, though, of Josh Key. And Swansea win possession, and they break. And Franco supplies Inusa, who runs away from the challenge, cuts back inside, and then he scuffed the finish. He did everything so well until the final part. Timon keeps it going. He delivers towards the back post, and across it goes, and in it goes, and it's that man again. But this time the flag is raised. Vipotnik wags a finger at the assistant referee, and we stay goalless.
Well, he's not convinced, is he? It's a wonderful finish from Vipotnik, by the way. Such an acute angle, as well, the athleticism that he needs to use to get up to the ball. Let's have a look there. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. It looks like Clara is playing him on. Obviously, we know the angles can be a little bit deceiving. Can't quite see right across the line, but this is Inusa earlier, does so well at this moment, sits the defender down, and you're thinking hit it, but he scuffs the shot with his right foot. But they keep it alive. Swansea, great ball in from Timon, and I think Swansea can feel themselves a little bit hard done to.
I think he's onside, isn't he? I think it's straightforward mistake, isn't it, by the assistant?
Yeah, although my eyes, I feel like, now deceive me. The amount of times I've seen strange lines with VAR and thought things were offside, and they weren't, so who knows. But it looked, didn't it, initially, that he was onside for Potnik.
And he was adamant, and I know players are not the most reliable judge of whether they were offside or not.
You do normally, as a player, though. I had it where you sort of, you get the feeling, you know, you're aware of your surroundings, your angles. So yeah, I think he's very unlucky there.
Over the top, looking for Inusa. Almost scored a fabulous goal there. Sort of a bit lost in the disallowed goal that followed on. Is Galbraith. The key goes wide to Ronaldo, the Brazilian. And Franco, the Portuguese midfield player. And Keane nutmegs the defender, delivers it in towards Vipotnik again, and it comes back his way. And this time it's behind for the goal kick.
Finds himself in not too dissimilar area to actually where he scored from. This time it's a header. You see just his movement, wrestling initially with Clara, a little dart across the front post area. I don't actually think he gets too much on it initially, but he is alive to the follow-up.
Playing with confidence, understandably so. Robertson has to go back to another experienced player in Allsop. Aside Samuel. Gray worked hard to open up the space to Muki Iwata. And Cochrane. And Kumas, skillful again, and he cuts it back to the edge of the penalty area. Stansfield had pulled away into space. It was good defending to stop it getting to him. Iwata again, and Clara. He delivers the ball into the penalty area, and there's an opportunity and a lovely turn. It was Marvin Deutsch who took the ball down so well and was so close to an opening goal.
It's a save. Sure, this is a brilliant save from the goalkeeper. But I like this from Deutsch. Great turn, strength. And it comes off the foot of the goalkeeper, Vigouroux. Because, look, he stays. He doesn't get drawn in, and then he keeps himself big for as long as possible, and that's a brilliant save every time you see it.
Deutsch came from Werder Bremen for less than €2 million, but he's a bit of a veteran. He's 31, a German international. In swinging corner for Birmingham City towards the back post, and it's Marvin Deutsch who pulled away at the back post and put his header over.
I mean, they should be worried, Swansea City, with how free that he gets at that back post area. Far too easy. But also then decision making, maybe head that back across into the chaos to find a teammate. It's an acute angle to score from with a header from there.
Vigouroux pumped it down the middle where it was won by Clara. Well read, intercepted by Asai Samuel, who can drive forward here for Birmingham City and deliver the ball into the penalty area, and Kumas had come in off his flank.
It's not for want of trying, is it, for Kumas? It's busting a gut to get there. Good ball in as well. It's got all the pace on it, so you can't help but feel if there's a meaningful touch on it and it ends up at the back of the net. But also, you've got to say, good little bit of defending there as well. I think it was key, wasn't it? Really clever. Just leans on Kumas just a little bit, not to give away a foul, but just enough to put him off.
Stansfield's flick on. And that's a play by Vigouroux. Birmingham got a world record of points last season, 111. It's a dominant campaign from them. defeats in the two main cup competitions by Premier League sides. They've gone out of the Carabao Cup to Port Vale this season. Here's Kumas, and it was blocked by Stamanic. Sai Samuel under pressure from Enusa. Gets his free kick. Has to put his boot back on.
He doesn't quite get it right, does he, there, Enusa? But there's no doubt he's been a threat down that left-hand side for Swansea and kept Sai Samuel very honest.
Yeah, they paid 6 million, I think, euros for the Swedish attacking midfield player, Zidane Enusa. Neatly done by big Austrian defender Christoph Klara. And then he gave it to Iwata, told him to go back, and Klara ignores him and sends it 50 yards upfield. And Dush finds Gray, who's one-on-one with the defender Timon. Damari Gray beats him, he dips a shoulder, he plays it in, and Swansea City get lucky. It was Kabango who it struck, and it popped up kindly for Vigouroux.
Certainly more by luck than judgment. See, Damari Gray as well, because initially you see he wants to whip the ball in, but there's no one in there, so he waits, takes the defender on, puts another good ball in the box. Too flat for me there when you look at Stansfield and Deutsch there, in terms of they're on the same line. Someone needs to be making that run across the front post area, and there needs to be someone locking off the penalty spot.
Galbraith is down, he's half and half off and on the pitch. I think it's a genuine injury, isn't it? The home supporters ever keen, of course, to time wasting.
Just see there, Galbraith has come through the back of his, and he probably just jarred his back.
Alan Sheehan showing us that he's still got some of the skills. And a wrestling match going on, and everyone looks at Mr. Busby, and I guess he decided it was 6 and 2 threes.
I don't mind that at all. If you can keep it going where you can, fair credit to the referee.
There's Damari Gray. Klara. Jay Stansfield has it now, and then Kumas is wide. Birmingham on the attack, on the front foot, and it comes back, and Cochrane delivers to the back post. Timon defends it really well. Galbraith helps it away. Nick comes back to get involved and wins a free kick for the needless challenge, really, by Pakes and Ho.
I don't think there's actually enough contact in here to elicit the reaction. But the fact that he then is putting his hands around the waist, it automatically just draws the attention to the referee. It's really clever from Swansea as well, especially when they've been under a little bit of pressure.
It's been a positive performance by Birmingham, isn't it? There's this feeling that, because of these stats, that they don't shoot enough. There's this feeling that they need to get forward, that they need to be pulling the trigger more, but certainly they're trying to take the game to their opponents. They're trying to dominate. There's a shot by Galbraith that the stats people might tell you is why you don't shoot all the time. Well, actually, he's got a corner out. He's got a random corner out of it. So there we go.
But I mean, they've looked relatively bright, Birmingham. I think a lot of their opportunities have been sort of, half chances, I would say, but you see there 2 shots on target. They've had touches in the opposition box, more so than Swansea, so there's definitely some positivity there.
I mean, Swansea aren't in a hurry, I think that's safe to say. Galbraith has made his way across. The 2 big centre-backs are there. Vipotnik, of course, adds plenty of height as well. It's drilled towards the number 9, who then, this is quite a clever header. I think he was just trying to nod that into an area there from Jan Vipotnik. Gray had stayed up field and he gets possession for Birmingham City. And Stansfield, ever lively, delivers towards the back post, and the header away was important. Pate can collect it again. And he comes back to Cochrane. Cochrane's urged to shoot, and it goes high and ugly over the bar.
Certainly something that you're seeing with Birmingham City, isn't it? Because again, it's that long ball from Allsop. Damari Gray does really well with it. I just think it's then about the gambling of the rest of the bodies. So as soon as it goes high, Damari Gray's left very isolated, and in this second phase actually they do really well to get bodies in, but it's just that transition from Allsop to then getting the ball forward, how many bodies that Birmingham City add to that attack.
Stansfield. Deutsch steps over, lets it run through, but it was really well read by Stamenic. Gray's got a problem. It's hammered forward for Anusa to chase. Almost got there.
Yeah, he seemed to slow down. Strange one really, because he looked like he was going to make it. I don't know, I thought initially maybe slowing down to try and wrap his left foot round it. But yeah, strange decision there.
And they play through some decent pressure there, Birmingham City, and then it's given away. And out of play by Cochrane. Now, there's no 8-second rule with throw-ins, is there? It's a meaty challenge by Damari Gray, and I think he's going to get a yellow card for the contact that he made.
Strange one in the sense that the referee, I think, seemed to hesitate, but see there, it doesn't look to get much of the ball, Damari Gray.
Yellow card for the Birmingham-born Birmingham player. It was a long time ago that he first left the club to go and play for Leicester. Because he looked to see where the ball went, the ref, didn't he? Like he wasn't going to give it, and then he gave it and booked it.
Yeah, maybe it was to see if there was an advantage to be played. Maybe that's what he was thinking about, but you see there, it certainly was a foul. It's the right decision.
Had been playing in Saudi Arabian football before he came back to his home club in the summer. He's now a Jamaica international, Damari Gray, having played 26 times as an England under-21. Drinks break and a timeout as well for the coaches. Gonzalo Franco seems to be fine. Fans and players player of the season last year for the Swans. So Swansea free kick, they're down to 10 temporarily, while Franco just waits to come back on, but he's okay. Burgess plays it out wide to Nusa. He might have already been standing outside of the touchline. Sai Samuel tries to go over the top to Marvin Dutch. Robinson to Clara. That's what we call no nonsense. It's turned them around, and the touch from Burgess wasn't perfect, and then the work from Gray was superb and industrious. And Birmingham are up the pitch and in possession. And now Gray tries to get some quality on it. That was a brilliant touch by Josh Key.
It's brilliant work though initially, isn't it, from Damari Gray. We've seen Birmingham City go more direct, and that's the reason, because they've got players that can cause issues. He's got the pace, he's got the willingness, the work rate. Not something we've always said about Damari Gray, but certainly seen that in a Birmingham City shirt. And then quality in the delivery that makes sure Key has to do something to stop that ball getting to Kumas at the back stick.
Now the corner is the outswinger. Cleared to the edge of the penalty area. Pate with a shot that was blocked by the first defender.
It's hit well, to be fair, but again, Swansea City, if they've done for the first 38 minutes, defended ever so well, got bodies in the right areas.
Just doesn't quite get through to Stansfield, and he fouled Stamanic as he tried to clear. Swansea have a very low XG against, which in English means that they've given up very few chances. Galbraith just can't find Anusa. Sai Samuel did well, and then it's the clearance, and then Stansfield from that sort of number 10 position where he's trying to find space. And then they go long to Kumas, and his touch has taken him out of play.
I think sometimes they're struggling for a focal point, Birmingham City. It sometimes can be a positive when you've got players that roam are dynamic, and it's hard for defenders to pick up, but equally at times, especially when you're playing a little bit more direct, you have to have a focal point up there, which they've not always had, Birmingham.
Anusa did well, and he's away from Sai Samuel, who then tried to get back in, and Mr. Busby goes for that notebook again.
Yeah, he had to. Anusa was free. It's one of those, it's difficult for Sai Samuel when you're defending, because you're trying to get close, trying to stick a foot out without making the foul, and that's just more of a coming together in the end. But because Anusa's done so well, it leaves the referee with a little option.
Sort of won the race, really, Anusa, didn't he? Got in front.
And that's when you just see it's the connection, his heels clip. Sai Samuel is coming to still try and close him down.
So Galbraith is eyeing this one, measuring this one up. Centre-backs are up.
I know it's a real weakness of Birmingham as well, defending set pieces.
Well, they're giving away height, you can see there are the big men in the wall, which is a dilemma anyway. So Timon leaves it, and Galbraith does go for goal. Might have been the right choice, it was certainly the wrong execution.
And especially when you say you've got such a big wall as well for Birmingham City, to get it up and over with the right trajectory, it's always going to be difficult from there.
Burgess with the header, returned with a bit of interest by Robinson. Head tennis. All four centre-backs got a go in turn. And Clara again turns Swansea back line around. Burgess just has to hook it away. It's helped on really effectively a couple of times. The referee doesn't see a foul there on Galbraith. And Iwata goes wide to Damari Gray again. Lovely step over by Gray. Now he delivers low into the penalty area. Stamanic cleared.
There'll be a sigh of relief from the referee that came to nothing from Birmingham City, because I thought it was a foul in the build-up.
And this one he gives.
The irony is that looks like less of a foul than the one that he didn't give, but maybe that's the reason he gave it.
It's Gray down. Not for the first time, actually.
Looks like he's trying to stretch his hamstring out there.
Birmingham more points last season than if you pair together any two of their seasons after 2016. They didn't really enjoy their later years in the Championship in the last spell.
You see the incident there with Damari Gray. It's a strange one, isn't it? Sort of loses his footing. I think that's always a worry when a player goes down with no impact. Never bodes well. It always worries the physios just that little bit more.
We are only a couple of minutes away from the break, though, so he's obviously keen to give it a go. I'm forgetting the game. There was a game in which Damari Gray was off and on for multiple bouts of treatment earlier in the season. Swansea win first contact. Marvin Deutsch away. Stansfield is late and the referee gives the free kick. This time he's feeling more lenient.
Yeah, it's strange for me. Certainly a foul again, but there's been a lack of consistency with the referee. The fouls he's given, the cards, and you'd feel from what he's already given. I mean, I'm not talking about, I don't want players to go in the book unnecessarily, but if we're going on consistency of what the referee's already done today, you think that would be a yellow for Jay Stansfield.
Yeah, because we always want consistency. It's often unattainable, but within the game, if you set a level of a yellow card, and he has booked for similar things. Anyway, Swansea do have a free kick, and they have Ethan Galbraith and Josh Timon on it again. Galbraith delivers towards the back post. Cabango gets there first, and he got there first from an offside position.
Disappointed they'll be. Swansea, as I mentioned, struggled from set pieces so far this season. Birmingham, 5 of the goals they've conceded, 3 of those from set pieces, so I don't think they've took advantage as well as they could have. Swansea, you see there, Cabango clearly offside.
Deutsch had pulled himself out wide there, and he won the first header. Sai Samuel sends it forward again. Kumas was trying to pin the defender, but he lost the battle. Franco to Key. 3 minutes to be added on. And Swansea have a man down. Is it Franco who's down? They carry on. Timon into the midfield. Popotnik came back to get involved. Vipotnik again. Rides a challenge or two. Brilliantly done by Christoph Klara. And he finds Kumas. Ricochets out to Gray, who tries to get them on the attack again through Cochrane. And he rides his way through a challenge. Then he moves it on into the penalty area where Kumas had recovered to, but there's no foul there. The referee saw it and just turned his back.
It's a nice sweeping move by Birmingham City, moving the ball quickly with purpose. Cochrane does well. Nothing wrong with that for me. It's good defending by Key.
He just turned and played it blind. Here's Stansfield, and the shot is deflected. It's behind for the corner. So the first half will finish with Birmingham having a set piece. In it goes, and up go the headers. I think it was Burgess perhaps who got the touch, and it popped up nicely anyway for Vigouroux. And there's a blow on the head for one of those Swansea defenders in there, and that's Crush to get to the ball. Cabango.
Referee obliged to stop it due to the head injury. No malice in it. It's just so many bodies coming together at the same time, and Cabango's the one that comes off the worst. It's maybe even an elbow from Clara or a shoulder. As I say, no intention in it, just the coming together.
Quick check, but they will be going off in a moment. Bango probably just get in the dressing room first. The referee's given himself a 40-yard sprint. It should be the last action of the first half. Vigouroux is happy for the half-time whistle to come. He's now being told that the referee is counting, and it was all academic because it's half-time anyway. Well, two teams that have done well this season, but perhaps lack goals, certainly in recent games for Birmingham. Jan Vipotnik, though, has been finding the net. He found the net in this first half, but then the flag stopped the celebrations. According to what we can see, it was a mistake. Chris Davies needs his Birmingham City team to stay positive, perhaps create more chances than they were able to in that first half. Alan Sheehan should be happy. Damari Gray has been a handful at times, but none of those attacking players have been able to deliver a goal. We'll have a look at the best of the action in a moment with the highlights. Half-time at St Andrews, Birmingham City 0, Swansea City 0.
Try and play those other forward players into form, so it's a difficult balance.
So it looks as though we have no changes coming into the start of the second half. There's only a point between the teams coming into it, which is worth 4 places in the championship table, but not really too much about the table this early in the campaign. Birmingham get us underway at the start of the second half, and they go back to Ryan Allsop. There's a wrestling match as Swansea wanted to close him down. He went off target anyway from the veteran goalkeeper. So Stamanic played that ball forward. That's the good team news from Swansea's point of view, is that he is fit again. He's only played a couple of games for the club since the summer. That was his header again. Other than that, they went back to the team that played in the last league game. So it's a much changed team from the dramatic Wednesday win against Nottingham Forest. Birmingham made 4 changes from their last league game. There were 4 yellow cards for Birmingham City. The goalkeeper holds up, and the ball into the penalty area, and it's Kumas who tried to steer his head, I think just inside the far post.
Yeah, you're right, and I think he just gets it wrong. And it's the right idea in the sense of that's what you're taught to do. As a young kid coming up through academies and such, you go back across where it's come from, because it's difficult for the goalkeeper. Really good ball that's digged out, by the way, from Jay Stansfield, but you see Kumas though just doesn't get the right connection on it at all.
Now Ronaldo's away from the challenge at the other end of the pitch, and he crosses into the penalty area. Appeals for a handball there by the Swansea players, not given. Key has it. Lively start to the second half. Vipotnik into the penalty area he goes, and he tried to curl it with the outside of his right boot, and it goes wide.
The first bit was wonderful. The ball into him, the quick feet to fashion half a yard. Instead of trying to wrap it with his left foot, he elects to try and do the more difficult thing, in my opinion. Try and bend it with the outside of the right foot. Just gets it wrong, but 2 good passages of play for either side there.
As well as the 5 that he's got in club football this season, he got 1 as well for Slovenia against Sweden. Clara wins that header as we go into another exchange of head tennis, helped forward then by Stamanic. Damari Gray's at it as well. And Vigouroux, who's a Chile international, but from London and born in Camden. Every league game last season and every league game so far in this one. Here's Zedan Anusa. Galbraith. Chris Davis, 40 years of age, retired as a player when he was 19. Moved into coaching very young. Hooked into the area by Vipotnik and then followed up himself. Now Pike for Birmingham City. He rides the first challenge, and he tries to get Gray away, and he almost does. It's a throw into the Blues. Haven't really seen the weapon of the long throw, which is very much in fashion. Jack Robinson made a long run, and they took it just before it arrived.
I think that's then a bit of the argument ensuing between the players. Just take your time, let Robinson come up, use the weapon that you've got in your arsenal.
And here's Gray again, just shifts it, and he manages to find Marvin Dush in the penalty area. Then he hits the deck. And Stansfield gets the message through this time to wait for Robinson. I know they're back in fashion, long throws, but Jack Robinson's been throwing them long for a long time.
It's always been in fashion for him, but see there, asking for a penalty, not for me.
It booms into the penalty area. Kumas just couldn't turn and get the shot away. It's such an effective attacking bit of play, isn't it, if you get it right, the long throw?
It is, and especially it's really tight actually at St Andrews. There's not a lot of run up for Robinson, but still manages to arch his back, launch it into the box.
We'll see how they do with the corner. It's Cochrane. And he's told to wait. And the referee is slow us all down. The only people allowed to waste time in football are the referees.
It's one of my pet peeves when they stop all this jostling. If you see, obviously, if you see an infraction, just stop it, give the penalty or give the free kick. It will soon stop it from the players, I can guarantee.
So now it goes into that near post. Kumas tried an acrobatic flick on. It was undercooked, really, wasn't it, from Cochrane?
It's been bright though, Kumas. I enjoy watching him. It's just that lack of end product, but he's not the only one in that Birmingham City side.
Yeah, he played 49 games for Stoke City last season on loan from Liverpool. You might have thought he's done his year of developing and he'd get some first-team games, but then they signed Ekitike, Isaac, and Wirtz, all attacking players. It's quite hard to break in. Arrowed forward again by Allsop, but Swansea collect it. Stamanic gets them on the attack, and Inusa stretches those legs and gets it into the penalty area. And Vipotnik tried the flick, tried to let it go between his legs. He's done well, he's forced a corner.
It's been a real threat, hasn't he, Inusa? Struggling to deal with his pace. It's a cute angle for Vipotnik. He's probably never going to score from there, so to win a corner, about the best he could have done.
Yeah, off Jack Robinson, who also had to make the shield, didn't he? Fired towards the back post where Burgess was waiting, didn't get up. I think he was probably surprised that the initial header was missed. It's Josh Key's turn. There's narrow island at St Andrews. Decent distance again. And then Key is there to deliver the ball into the penalty area, but everyone was on their way out. Robinson fires it long. Flag is then raised against Marvin Deutsch.
Let's have a look and see if the officials got it right that time. But again, that direct ball, certainly something that Birmingham City are working on, but it's about the timing of the run.
Ronald went high as Cochrane went low. The referee puts a hand up that suggests that he's not going to take much action. And one for Kumas to chase over the top, but there's the hit and miss nature of the long ball.
Yeah, and it's about where you play it from. When it's a deeper one where they can try and catch Swansea in behind, it seems to be working to a degree. When it's a little bit higher up the pitch and they're trying to drop it into an area, Swansea have got the beating of them in that sense.
Clara does well, it wins it again, and then just pops it off to Pike. Kumas to Cochrane. Immediately then turned and got on his heels, but Cochrane just had to go back to Robinson. Sai Samuel. A little bit of skill, but Inusa, no, good battle between the two, and it ends up with a free kick to Birmingham. A yellow card, a first yellow card for a Swansea player.
He can think himself a little bit hard done to here, to be honest, because he initially gets the ball. There's then, yeah, a little bit of a clip. There's a foul, no doubt, but I don't think it was enough for a yellow card unless it's a totting up procedure.
He indicated a number, didn't he? But yeah, first yellow card anyway for the Swans player. Samuel battling away, and he emerges with the ball. It's good pressure though from Birmingham, and then they do get hold of it and get on the attack, and it's with Kumas. And Kumas comes infield. Now there's width from Gray over on this left side for the first time really in the game, and it will come to the edge of the penalty area, and Cochrane will try his luck, and it's a long way off the target.
Wrong decision, simple as that. Stansfield earlier on in this play, he wanted the ball, slipped down the side of the defender, doesn't come to him, and then that, I think what the Birmingham City fans will want to see.
Positive from Robinson. And Pike wins the header as well, and Stansfield. Strong challenge there that gets a roar of approval.
Something Chris Davies isn't happy about. You see him there shaking his head. I wonder whether it's the time wasting or a bit of a to-do between the two managers.
Sheehan was the more obviously animated of the two, wasn't he? Chris Davies disapproving, like a disapproving school teacher, shaking his head. The willingness on show from Tomoki Iwata, there's no question of that.
Yeah, and I don't think you can question it for either side, the willingness to want to do the right thing, the work ethic, the work rate, but it's being about the quality in both boxes really. That's been the story of the game so far, or the lack of it.
And the driving West Midlands rain. It is 0-0. Clara has to hook it away. Josh Timon. And Cabango, one of the Welsh internationals, on show today. And now chests it down. Well dealt with though by Kumas, accelerates away. He finds a teammate as well in Deutsch, and Gray goes back, and it's up to Clara to join in and keep the attack going, which he does, to Asai Samuel, who delivers it early into the penalty area. And Marvin Deutsch, it was an awkward finish, but he took it on anyway.
Yeah, it's always going to be difficult to score from there. He does well to even direct it goal bound, to be honest, but to get the right amount of power there to beat Vigouroux, it's going to be very, very difficult.
Swansea free kick. Now, so a couple of attacking players ready for Birmingham City now. A challenge on the edge of the penalty area. Ronald went down. Cochrane's the one with blood all over his face, who's annoyed, presumably accusing him of taking a tumble.
Yeah, well, first of all, if it's like that, Cochrane shouldn't really be on the pitch. That needs to be treated by the physios, and he's got blood on his shirt as well. But you're right, I think he takes exception to what he feels like is a dive. Let's take a closer look. And now gets across. I do tend to agree with Cochrane there. There's a little bit of contact. not enough for a penalty.
So a lecture from referee John Busby. And yes, they have spotted the head injury for Cochrane. Need a lot of tidying up. And Ryan also down with a problem. They've got on the bench, they've got James Beadle, who is on loan from Brighton. Played a lot last season. He's the England under-21 goalkeeper, Beadle, as well, European champion. So I guess if you're Brighton, you don't really want your talented young goalkeeper stuck on the bench behind Ryan Alsop forever.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a point of conversation, hasn't it? Everyone expecting Beadle to be the number one, and you're right, if you're that Premier League side and you're loaning a player out, I think it's normally with the expectation that they're going to get more minutes than Beadle has so far.
But then also, you've got the gloves. Don't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
So also, yeah, there's no sign of Beadle warming up down there, we are told. So they conveniently are getting a bit of time to patch up Alex Cochrane, get him a new shirt. Because obviously the game can't restart while the goalkeeper is injured.
Exactly. So look, if that is the case, it's not been the first time that ploy has never been used by a team. I think a lot of people want that to change, and obviously you can't take the goalkeeper off, but maybe if a goalkeeper's treated, you have to take an outfield player off, and it could be a way around it that people have mused over.
So new shirt, Birmingham City's left back. One of the League One PFA team of the season last year, as many of the Birmingham players were. I'll take their word that he can see through that, and that it's protecting an injury rather than a blindfold, but we'll see how he gets on. So the possession stats remain steadfastly close to each other, and foul throw by Bright Asai Samuel. Clara strong again. Pike in the challenge was equally robust. Amari Gray is wriggling and trying to find himself room to get this ball forward. Last chance saloon for a couple of those Birmingham attacking players. Hard work coming on the pitch these days, isn't there? There's a lot to learn before you're allowed out there.
Yeah, looks like Ethan Laird's potentially coming on as well, but you're right, you've got to make sure where you are at set pieces, and normally if it's a like for like, that's easy, but then obviously if they're maybe tweaking or changing the formation, there's a little bit more to think about. So the last thing you want as a player is to come on and not know your role at a set piece, because that normally ends in the manager not being very happy with you.
Down goes Cochrane. And we are now going to see this triple substitution. Roberts, Laird and Kyogo all coming on. And Marvin Deutsch is off. So his first start in the Championship has not resulted in a goal. Lewis Kumas. So Roberts is a winger, Kyogo centre forward, or he might be given a slightly different attacking role. And Laird is a full-back. Patrick Roberts, promoted last season with Sunderland, started the season. Here's Laird immediately into the action, and as is Roberts. Two subs immediately combining. Si Samuel was the right back, so it's a straightforward switch in that respect. Pike stabs it forward, away by Stamenic. And the New Zealander tries to step across. Good determination, kept in, but Stamenic, the referee then stops it for a blow on the head here for one of the Birmingham players.
It's got a bit like that now, hasn't it? This game, bit stop-start, lacking rhythm, a lot of niggly injuries, head injuries, and it's not a great reflection on the game.
It's Iwata who's down. Yeah, Patrick Roberts was promoted last season with Sunderland. I always think this when I watch a playoff final, players celebrating at the end. I always think, how many of them will be there next season playing in the Premier League?
Yeah, exactly, that's one of the issues, isn't it? Yes, you get promoted and you get to the promised land, which is the Premier League, but it doesn't mean you're always going to be playing there, such as the changeover of players.
And it was 9 new players the other day for Sunderland. Only 2 of them. It's a totally different set of fellas running around on the pitch. Roberts did start the season for them. Played in the Premier League against Burnley. And Kyogo looking for goals. So he got the one in the Carabao Cup. Scored 85 in 3.5 seasons at Celtic. Won the league every year he was there. Cochrane nicked in, won the ball, has to settle for just a throw. That is one off Franco.
Too much of a rush there, wasn't he? So keen to get going.
Well, we are midway through the second half. Into another lull. Replacements are out there. Nusa, though, has missed control, lost possession. Roberts can break forward now, and Kyogo is away. The flag is down, and he scuffed his shot at goal. Vigaroo made the save anyway. Gray into the penalty area, shuffles away from the challenge and tries to get a shot away.
Again, the opportunities are there for Birmingham City. Scuff shot. Do well the way that they win it back on the halfway line, wasn't it, for Birmingham City? And Kyogo Furuhashi, great run, gets himself on the shoulder of the defender, but has to hit it better.
Robinson is there to send this into the penalty area, glanced away as far as Galbraith, who will find a Nusa.
Let's have a look. I like this, the little darting run. Times it to perfection. just completely scuffs the shot. Don't know whether he takes his eye off it for a moment, but you're expecting that to nestle in that bottom left-hand corner. Decent save from Vigouroux.
Not convinced it was on target. There's a man who can score goals. Kyogo, experience, is 30 now. There's Robinson, debutant today for Birmingham City. And Cochrane clips it forward for the run of Kyogo. His movement was good. And can Cabango prevent the corner? Doesn't really matter. It is a corner. It's same as a long throw, though.
Good decision, really, because I think he can hook that with his left foot, but by the time it's taken him to turn to try and get it on his right foot, he just loses that half a yard.
And it's the patched up Cochrane who will take the corner here for Birmingham. Cochrane drops it into the near post, and he can get another go. Fullback delivers again, and it comes out to Stansfield, who strikes it, and it took a deflection. It must have been off a Swansea player, because they were desperate to keep that ball from going behind. And we do get the third attempt at the long throw from the debutant Jack Robinson. And again, decent distance, but Swansea defend it stoutly.
Well, they do defend it well, but can't help but think that Birmingham aren't setting it up properly either, in terms of getting a player sort of on the edge of the, or in line with at least the 6-yard box, that can then come and try and head that on.
So double change. So Adam Ida, who they signed for £6 million from Celtic, got 20 goals last season. So former Celtic strikers being thrown on all over the place. And Hee-sung comes on, South Korean. And Inusa goes off. And Vipotnik, so it's the run of goal scoring at an end for Vipotnik. And Ida tries to make himself a nuisance from the beginning, and he leans into the defender, gets the free kick given against him. Started in the Nottingham Forest game. Ida came on as a sub against Hull. Now Kyogo drives. And he gave the free kick away.
I think it's initially that frustration. He doesn't play a better ball into Stansfield, then tries to atone for his errors. The frustration just tipping the balance.
Stansfield still working hard. Laird tried to... No, it's an offside anyway. I think he was trying to duck out of the way of it.
See the frustration creeping in all over the pitch. That's just naivety from Stansfield.
Cochrane was bravely up. Could be in a bit of bother there, Alex Cochrane. We already saw that he'd had one blow to the head for which they patched him up. And then he bravely went and headed the ball, and I imagine the blood's coming again.
Yeah, it's probably caught him again, and that's a problem when it starts to swell around that area as well. It makes it difficult to see, obviously, as well as the headache that goes along with it. Let's take a closer look. As you say, gets up. You can see straight away he's not comfortable.
So they would be allowed the extra substitution if he has to go off, and so therefore Swansea would be allowed another substitution of their own. Referee having a drink. Is this game going to fizzle out into nothing, or are we getting ready for a big push towards the end and a dramatic conclusion? Well, there's no fresh blood. He doesn't, you know, you've got to err on the side of caution, haven't you?
Yeah, especially with head injuries, and you just see he doesn't look comfortable at all. He doesn't look ready to continue.
So Birmingham lose their left back. Aaron Cashin. He's a centre-back, really, but Robinson could play left-back, can't he, is he?
Yeah, I've seen Cashin play there as well, and so I think they've got that adaptability at the back, Birmingham City, but I do like Cashin. Watched him quite a bit at Derby and a couple of appearances at obviously Brighton. He's struggled as of late to get that consistency in his play.
Burgess just guides it back to Vigouroux. And Cabango goes long, looking for the run of Adamida. Stamanic. Now Franco. Galbraith wide for Timon to deliver into the penalty area. Clara's cleared the ball so many times this afternoon.
I think Timon had a little bit more time on his hands than he thought there. Should have delivered a better ball because they had good bodies in the box, Swansea.
So Cashin is on loan from Brighton. 23-year-old. Kyogo does well. Quick feet, and he finds Damari Gray. Can Gray produce a bit of magic? He goes inside too, and he gets his shot away. Vigouroux saves. Wasn't the toughest save in truth for the Swansea goalkeeper, but he had to get it right.
I'll tell you who else gets it right as well, Cabango, because he does so well here to put Damari Gray under pressure at this moment, but not give away a penalty. He does enough just to make sure Damari Gray is off balance. He can't quite get the purchase on the shot that he wants, and really does help his goalkeeper out.
Decent turn and effort by Galbraith as Swansea tried to conjure up some magic of their own. Cabango long, and Ida comes across to try to get something on it. Free kick as Laird is blocked off from being able to make the run by Timon. And a yellow card as well.
Isn't even looking at the ball time, and so that's not a difficult one for the referee.
Pike can't find Stansfield. Robinson stayed in the middle, hasn't he? And Cashin has gone in at left back.
He's not necessarily like Cochrane in the way that Cochrane will get forward, not the same profile of player, so that'll be left to Laird on the right-hand side more so.
Birmingham City nicked the ball back. Laird to try and cross into the penalty area, comes out for Om. And Galbraith turned to find space, but then couldn't see the pass that he wanted. He did draw the foul. And another yellow card that Pike sort of dismissively accepts.
In fairness, he was hacked down, wasn't he? Galbraith, nowhere near the ball.
Late challenge on Burgess. I don't think was in the mood to accept the apology.
It's just getting a bit messy, isn't it, for both sides? The game's sort of petering out. Sometimes you expect at this point that it's going to be a little bit more exciting, both teams trying to find a way to win it, but if anything, it's probably got worse as the game's gone on.
Well, Birmingham have lost 3 games in a row in all competitions without scoring, so 0-0 would end that run, but they would love a goal, of course, and a win. Here's Key. And Ida. Referee happy with that battle in the midfield. Stansfield scurries forward. Good recovery challenge, wasn't it, from Franco? Got around the outside cleanly.
It was brilliant. I think Stansfield thought he had got free of Franco and just wasn't aware that he was still tracking him.
And Stansfield does the same, wins the ball back again for and then Gray. And a pull of the shirt by Cabango. They want to take it quickly to Kyogo. The referee wasn't ready. Cabango's the latest. Be getting to the point where it's easier to tell you who hasn't been booked.
Another obvious one, but Cabango is thinking, well, this is at the point in time where we're now looking to save what we've got, and if I need to make those type of challenges, then I will do.
both sides are planning more changes. In fact, making more changes. Pike, one of the many booked players, is off. And Tommy Doyle on as well. Lyndon Dykes is coming on. So Stansfield is off. So net result is it's more attacking. Dykes has got one goal in the comeback win. There was a late goal against Blackburn. Yalkue came on or not. Free kick though. They've sent Doyle on. American football style. He's come on as a kicker. And it is Doyle, and he slams it into the wall. Now Yalkue is not on. What Dykes will definitely do is add Birmingham City a bit of physicality up the top of the pitch. Here's Roberts. And it's cut back to Doyle on the edge of the penalty area. Is never really there for him to shoot. Now he tries to shift it and get it in. Swansea repel again. And Iwata puts it into the box. Once again, Swansea defend stoutly. And then it was the shot by Cashin that turned into a pass, and it comes to Doyle again! And that was a decent effort this time.
It was close, wasn't it? Certainly had Vigouroux rather, scrambling. Good quality on the ball, Tommy Doyle. Just can't quite find the necessary finish for that to nestle in the back of the net, but pretty much as close as Birmingham City have gone.
So it's Galbraith who's going off for young Malik Yalkue to come on. Another Brighton lone player. He's an Ivory Coast under 23. They're born in Mali. And there's another head injury. It's Saramida.
It's been a very stop-start in the second half. Have a fair amount of stoppage time.
I think Edith will be okay. Yeah, we have got Birmingham have got 6 subs on because Cashin is obviously a head injury replacement for Cochrane. So Swansea will have more, I think, if they want to use more. 9 minutes. Roberts into the penalty area. Damari Gray from that left side. Doyle high, hanging, and Birmingham get to it first, and Kyogo with his effort that was blocked right in front of him. Yalkue flicks it on. Clara keeps it moving. And it's the goalkeeper who's down this time. Another stoppage.
Initially seems to be in a bit of bother, doesn't he, Vigouroux? Let's have a look at the chaos from this. It's there. In all fairness, I think he gets landed on. There's... Who is that there? Is it Clara, maybe? It's not his Dykes, isn't it? Just trying to hold him down, look, the goalkeeper. A little bit naughty there.
It was a foul, actually, wasn't it, by Lyndon Dykes? So I think we're going more than the 9. It's been a solitary goal in the 12:30 kickoffs in the Championship for QPR. Well, Swansea have been at this level since 2018, had a couple of playoffs in the early years. League position suggests it's possible again. I mean, at the moment, the Championship looks very even.
Yeah, it does, and I think the teams that we were maybe expecting to run away with it haven't. So I think obviously for everyone else involved, getting in and about for automatic for playoffs, that's a positive thing, because I can't see at the moment any runaway leaders like we've seen in previous seasons.
Yeah, what we didn't want, same for the bottom end of the Premier League as well. You didn't want that to become a thing, that the same teams go up and down. Strong challenge by Stamenic, as the latest in the book.
Definitely late. No doubt about that. Not sure what he's arguing about.
Clara goes long. Ethan Laird was there making a nuisance of himself. Now Roberts. Cheeks inside, delivers with his left. Dykes with a header! Birmingham City lead! 2 subs combine. And it's the big man, the big centre forward, Lyndon Dykes, with what could be, this late in the game, a decisive intervention.
One thing we do know about Lyndon Dykes is he is always a massive presence in the box, proving it there, but also the quality in. So much whip and pace on this ball. About 10 yards out, Lyndon Dykes, so it has to have that pace on it. You can't generate it from there. Gets up well. Really good header. Looking at that far post area, and Vigouroux's done really well today, but there's not much that he'll be able to do about that one. Big win, potentially on the cards for Birmingham City, and that home record under Chris Davies intact.
Second goal of the season for Lyndon Dykes, the big Aussie-born Scotland striker. The other one came in stoppage time, in the Blackburn game, and this one in stoppage time again. It's only been used as a sub. Is there super sub? Now St Andrews is rocking. Birmingham unbeaten here in league football since April of 2024. Swansea have got very little time. There will be slightly more than the 9 because we've had stoppages in stoppages. And they go long, and on was the target for it. Robinson hacks it away to the goal scorer Dykes. And Doyle. So that last throw of the dice from Chris Davis has paid off. Swansea will do the same. Melker Vidal and Liam Cullum are coming on. Ronald is off. And time is almost up for Swansea. They now try to attack with more urgency. Credit to Kyogo. Well, the game had slumped into a kind of fug, wasn't it, with a series of stoppages, some careless play, and then that's football for you. Long faces among the people who've got quite a long journey back to South Wales.
Yeah, they'll be disappointed as well, Swansea, because the way they defended, they'll have thought they did enough. And as you say, it wasn't the highest quality of game, but Lyndon Dykes bringing that little bit of quality to put the ball in the net.
Good play from Kyogo, and then he urges the supporters to get behind the team again. This is the best thing to do, of course, when you're holding on to a lead, isn't it? Get up the other end. Good attacking options, Birmingham City. And Doyle and Kyogo and Dykes all on. I'm guessing it's going short. It didn't last very long. LQA. Cashin fires it forward. Kyogo. No question of Vigouroux holding on to the ball for too long that time. Bowls it out quickly. Kyogo told to get up and get on with it. LQA. The 9 minutes are done. We're adding time on to added time. Vidal's trying to chase this one down, but the long ball was too long.
I think the whistle's going imminently, but I think there's probably another 30 seconds at least to go. It's a tough watch for the Birmingham City fans, but as it stands, they're going to go home very happy.
Understandably, Allsop waves everybody away. He's on a yellow card. He can't take too long over this. Kyogo will chase it down, and he will get there. Clips it into the middle. Away by Cabango. Cashin gets to it. Laird. "100 minutes on the clock." Robinson hits it forward. The touch was superb from Patrick Roberts. Birmingham hold on to possession until Alsop swings a big boot through it. Keane gets out and tries to get Swansea on the attack as his shirt pulled by Damari Gray. He's in the wrong place, isn't it? And moving. And they do. It seemed the obvious thing in the first place was to get Vigouroux to take it. So this could be it. This could be the last action. And Birmingham City win the game. The very definition of a hard-fought victory, but it ends their run of defeats. They've only scored 1 goal in 4 games in all competitions, but what a valuable one it was. Lyndon Dykes on as a late sub with a late goal, sticking his head on the ball in the penalty area. And that's his trade, and that's what he did today, and that's what has won the game for the Blues. Swansea City, after their midweek cup heroics, are back down to earth with a bump. A second defeat of the season for them, and a second victory of the season at St Andrews in the league for Birmingham City. They extend their long unbeaten run of league football here, but boy, they had to work for that every step of the way. Birmingham City 1, Swansea City 0.